Happy Friday, happy holy Ramadan Kareem, and welcome to the Lovin Dubai show where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Rent prices. Are Dubai rent hike, is it going to finally slow down, is the big question of the day.
It really is. And there's this beautiful, stunning Ramadan tent that is calling your name.
A creator shared the answer for the big question, can foreigners wear the Kandoura?
A Ballsy trio just set a Guinness World Record in the UAE.
And it's going to make you clench. And later on in the show, we're super excited to welcome Mouna, talking about the truth about influencing in Dubai versus London.
Ooh, really exciting topics today.
Also,
how are you doing today, Casey?
I'm good. It's Friday, and when Ward walked into the office, I was like, Ward, you look so cozy on a Friday, and I love it. And I feel like we're matchy-matchy.
We're matching today. And then I told Casey, I was like, Casey, like when I pull out this jumper, like that means like I'm done. I'm done for the week. That's it. Like I just,
this is my Friday jumper.
Literally, like I'm waiting to hop in bed. I'm waiting to go to sleep. And then we started talking about productivity. And like we want to know, like, how's your productivity like, guys, like throughout the week? How's it like for you, Casey?
Well, I'm more on the cozy the Friday because productivity I think it depends on the day. I don't have like a specific day, but on the coziness side, it starts from here. You know, like on a Sunday evening, you do a facial, you do a cleanser, you like wear a face mask, you do prep for the week, and then so Monday you're up here in terms of like wellness, and then it just slides. It just
keeps going
down. And then
down.
it gets to Friday, and then you're wearing Crocs, and you know.
No, literally. And then by the weekend comes, that's when I'm like, okay, this is my hair wash day.
Yeah.
This is when I need to do it. Like I need to finally get to this. But you know, throughout it's so crazy. But what I wear, Casey, reflects my productivity. It's so weird. When I feel like very beautiful, like I'm extra productive. When I don't feel that good about myself, I don't feel like I'm that productive. Or maybe I still am, but I'm not proud of anything that I do.
So today, on this Friday, what levels of productivity can the world expect from Word?
Silence. Absolute silence. I think that's the energy that I'm channeling today. Even in the car, like I just had like Arabic music on, Fairuz. I had Abdul Majid. I was in a romantic mood actually. It was so strange. Like I was just like, oh, like it's Friday. Like it's not insane excitement, but more of like calm. You know?
Get you.
Like the calm is coming. But
let's calmly jump into the stories then.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm also listening to romantic music for the show. Okay, Friday morning. Top question, is Dubai's rent hike finally slowing down? So after years of soaring rents, 57, 58 months of progression, if I'm not wrong, signs are emerging that Dubai's rental market may be stabilizing. Maybe stabilizing in some areas. A surge in available rental listings is giving tenants more choices and forcing landlords to be more competitive with pricing.
Now, the newly launched Dubai Rental Index is also playing a role, tracking market trends in real time and introducing a star rating system that ties rental increases to building quality. Now, experts say it'll take another few months to see the full impact, but for now, areas like Discovery Gardens, Sports City, and Dera are seeing a shift toward steadier prices.
So take notes. From February's leasing transactions dropping by 10% from January and renewals making up nearly 60% of those deals, is the question, the beginning of the cooling off period or just a temporary pause before the next spike? And I think that's a long-term question. Is the long-term trend about to take a breather, or we're just going to continue on that projected upward curve? Are you moving recently? Have you moved in the last year or two? Are you aware of rent prices?
To be honest with you, no. We've gone to like our family home that like my family bought a while ago. We finally moved there, and no, we're not moving anytime soon. I love it. I hate moving. How do you feel about moving, Casey?
I've moved a lot. And
really? How many times?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, can't have been 6
times.
Marina, Springs, JGE.
Oh my God.
Production City, 5.
You really are a Dubai girl. Like you've been everywhere.
But the moving in this, and I think the reason I asked the question is because I'm in that spot where each year I'm susceptible to possibly the landlord hiking the rent price.
Oh, really?
Right, and then so therefore you just move. And you move out and you move away and further away.
I'm curious now, since you've moved so many times, what was your favorite area?
I love JGE. It's not far. I feel like it's Jumeirah Golf Estates. We were in the apartments there, and there's maybe 7 blocks. But you have it's a green community, and it's got a Spinneys, it's got a salon. That's all. And it's like 800 meters from where I work.
But I'm curious though, is that salon cheap though?
It's good value.
It's good value?
Yeah, it's not crazy.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's good value.
Because the salon that's like at my community center, oh my God, Casey, they really take advantage of the fact that we all live in the desert, because I'm in Damak Hills too. They take advantage of the fact that we are far from everything, so we'll pay. We'll just pay. We won't take another option. I just think it's way too expensive. But, you know, just on the price of, just on the topic of properties, I remember Mohammed Al-Abbar, you know, he said that don't kill the golden goose. Yeah, that's what he said to people who were like hiking, you know, the price of properties. And I think that's so true. You know, don't dissuade people.
Well, 100%. And I think that's why they brought in the real estate index, which tracks rent. And I think that's why there's been a slight pause, but let's see where that goes. And let's hope as renters and buyers that it remains an affordable market.
Yeah, don't get too excited.
Of course, it's Ramadan, and our next topic is a stunning Ramadan tent that we've been discussing this week.
Now, if you're looking for a special place to enjoy iftar or suhoor this Ramadan, there's a tent that blends tradition with a touch of modern elegance. You know, set against such a stunning golf course lake, it's not just about the food, it's about the atmosphere, the company, and the experience.
And we've spoken already about some of the decor. It's inspired by Kufi calligraphy, with meaningful words woven into the design, reflecting the important values of the UAE. There's also live entertainment throughout the evening to set your mood. If you're looking for an iftar tonight, hit Al Nafora.
Iftar is 280 dirhams and suhoor is 190 dirhams. running throughout the holy month. It's really, honestly, such a great spot to come together, soak in the ambiance, and make Ramadan nights even more special. And I think what's so special about El Nafura is the fact that it makes you feel like Ramadan is there. Like by the way, Casey, I feel like I've had this discussion with so many people in the office of not feeling like it's Ramadan.
The vibes.
Like the vibe is not there. I don't know how to explain it to you, and I feel like the vibe is there when you're hearing that music. You know, you're seeing everyone dressed up,
People coming together.
Exactly, like that's when you deep it. Like, oh my God, like it's Ramadan, kind of like the iftar that we had last night.
True. I feel like it's what I'm getting from people is you're at home having iftar with your family, or you're having that like very special night out with your friends, and this is one of those that we'd recommend.
Yes, and oh my God, you know what's so amazing, by the way, about Ramadan is it's like we don't have a curfew. We don't have a curfew. So I know all of you Arab girls, you can relate to this. We have curfews. We can't be out too late. But like last night, Casey, after I left the company iftar, I went shopping at Dubai Mall for a bit.
Really?
I did. But listen, Casey, as somebody who doesn't drive, I take advantage of the location I'm at. Because I don't drive. So I'm like, you know what? Let me turn this into a shopping trip. And then right after that, I actually went to Salt at Kite Beach. I did. You know, they have,
oh my gosh.
They have leguemat with lotus ice cream. It just came out yesterday. It was so good. It was so good.
That launched at Salt yesterday?
It launched at Salt yesterday, and girl, you know I had to try it out. It was so good, Casey. And when I was there at Salt, first of all, it's open 24/7. I look around me, I'm like, do you people not have work? Like, what's going on here? But it's Ramadan.
But this is what and I think like I'm one of the few people in the office I feel like who's not fasting, but most people, you know, every morning I just feel it like people are just tired. I'm like, how are you managing? Like you're doing late suhoor and things, and everyone's just, but everyone gets through it, and yeah, that's it.
It's a lot, but I'm going to get right back on track. No more sleeping for 4 hours. No, I'm not doing that anymore.
Fresh for somebody who slept for 4 hours.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Speaking of Ramadan, a question went viral and Heritage Express has answered it. So they've shared the answer for, can foreigners wear the Kandoura? So the UAE's culture is truly unique, and no matter how long you've lived here, there's always more to learn. So Heritage Express shed light on an important question. Can foreigners wear the Kandoura?
Now, according to the video, the answer is yes. Foreigners can wear it, but you must respect it and wear it properly. He said, for example, we don't buy them ready-made. We get them customized to the right fit, not too tall or too short. Also, remember that this is our traditional attire, so when you wear it, embrace the culture and traditions that come with it, and, you know, rightfully so.
So the question we put to you today is, if you're a foreigner in the UAE, would you wear the Kandoura? Would you embrace it? And also, if we have any Emirati listeners or watchers, how do you feel when you see expats embracing the look, the trend, not the trend, the Kandoura? Better.
Yeah, I definitely think that foreigners can wear it, but the only pointer that I would honestly give to all of you is try and wear it the right way. You know, the way that they do it. So like with the Kandoura, what I've noticed is that like there's always some kind of shop that specifically targets foreigners. And what I've noticed is that when they sell the Kandouras, they sell them very short.
Why would they do that?
I think it's because of the fact that they're not, because what I know is that a lot of girls who get their abaya made or the Kandoura, they actually get it tailored.
Well, this is what he's saying here, which I didn't realize is, if you're wearing it, wear it right, and we get it tailor-made, customized,
yes.
So they don't buy ready to wear.
Yeah, and when you actually get it tailored, what ends up happening is it's not too tight on your body, it's not too short, it's not too long, so you look very modest, you look very it looks really good, but I feel like when you just buy it from a random kiosk, there is that chance that it won't look the very best, and that you made what's the right way to say this? You just didn't wear it the right way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what do you think, Casey?
I think this is just another teeny tiny aspect of how open Emiratis are to welcoming all cultures. It would be so easy If you live in a country and you're blessed with so many countries around the world wanting to come to your country, it would be so easy to be like, this is our culture. You can come here, but we don't want you wearing.
Yes, like it's cultural appropriation.
Exactly, but I think in this video they're saying, you're welcome to wear it, but just wear it the right way. Which the most important thing is that you're respecting it and you're respecting yourself when you're wearing it.
Yes, and
which I think is really nice.
I do think so too, and I think it's also good to point out, like with the abaya, when it's like worn, it's so good to wear it in like a modest way. Like wear it with the mukhwara. They call it mukhwara. Mukhwara is the jalabiya that you remember
that you were wearing yesterday.
Yes,
You're right.
Yes,
okay.
they call it a mukhwara, and they wear it under the abaya. Yes, and it's like so, and something else that they do is that when you're wearing a mukhwara with a abaya, you close the abaya around it. You don't leave the mukhwara there open for everyone to see. It's like a very modest look. Yeah.
Well, that came from Heritage Express. If you'd like more questions answered, they are the page to check out. Let's bring us into the next story. I don't know if you've seen this video, Ward, but oh my gosh, a Ballsy trio just set a Guinness World Record in the UAE, performed under controlled circumstances. They have the record for the longest distance covered while, wait for it, performing a split on 2 moving quad bikes.
Absolutely crazy. Now, they went on for 470 meters. Shout out to Yara Khader, he's from Syria, Mohammed Al-Balushi, and Abdullah Al-Hatawi, who's from the UAE. I mean,
Yara's the lady because she's doing the splits there. See that?
Really?
Look at the video.
Oh my God. Whoa.
470 meters doing the splits on a moving quad bike. I can't.
That's
like,
crazy.
think about it. I literally...
I just think that some people are adrenaline junkies.
Yara, to you, by the way. We're saying the trio got the record, but Yara, shout out, because that is some magnificent
and what I love
split
is
situation.
What I love is how she has Lululemon on.
Does she? How did you find that?
Cute.
No way.
I can just tell from the back. I would know a Lululemon set anywhere. Like, she's such a girly pop. She's so cute.
Can you do the splits?
No, I can't. I tried. I'm just not flexible. I'm not flexible.
I've never been able to. Look
Not
at that.
Scared.
She's so serene and so.
Oh my!
Wow.
And she looks so relaxed too. Like, she looks like a model while she's at it.
Yes, she does.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, I've never been that flexible. It's
But by the way,
470 meters.
You can practice it. I saw a video of like a girl every single day trying to do the split, and every single day her legs go lower and lower and lower, and after 30 days she like achieved it. You just have to really push. It's uncomfortable.
Honestly, definitely achievable, I'm sure. But when I was younger, I was never really able to touch my toes.
Oh.
Yeah. So and then I was like, okay, every day I'll touch it. So like whenever I go to the gym, I always like, oh, I'm getting there.
But do stretch, by the way.
I do stretch, and like every day I'm like, oh, it's nearly there. But like but you're right. If I committed time to it every day,
you just
that's my new
more
thing.
And more.
I'm going to be able to touch my toes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yara and the trio who pulled that off. And don't try this at home.
Yeah, and we have a really, really exciting interview coming up. So stay tuned. Mouna is going to be here.
Yeah, she is. She's going to be with us after this very short break. We're talking content creation, traveling, and personal branding. Stay tuned. At about 8:50, she'll be joining us. We'll see you then. guys, it's Friday morning. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is Mouna, a content creator, traveller and a go-to expert on personal branding. She's built a name for herself between Dubai and London, sharing everything from lifestyle tips to social media hacks. Welcome, Mouna, to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you're fasting, so you're in here bright and early.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. How is that going for you?
Actually, fasting's going well for me. Obviously at night when I'm ready to eat, I'm most excited, but I'm having a good time.
You look so fresh.
Yeah, because you know what? Honestly, it's a diet thing. I've actually been sharing my diet and I wake up in the morning ready to go. Whereas last year I was just eating junk the whole time and it was difficult fast, so it makes a difference.
I'll not pretend to be able to empathize at all. I won't. However, I have tried fasting once or twice before an iftar.
How was it?
Really hard. So what is your hack? What is your diet hack to give me energy?
The biggest thing is eat your protein and fiber, and then if you want a sweet treat, have it after. I think people start off with fried foods. Sorry, I'm fasting. People start off with fried foods, and then that drags them down. So just those small differences.
So no 30 dirham popcorn. Not for Ramadan.
Not for Ramadan, but generally, yes.
Okay, let's get to know you a little bit more. So you've been in Dubai a couple of years. Why did you decide to move here?
I honestly moved here because I was kind of changing my career. I was a lawyer back home, which a lot of people don't know about me.
Wow.
And so I was I'm working freelancing on the side in social media and I want to make it my full-time thing. And I just didn't feel it in London. And I just had this feeling that I had to be in Dubai. And so I moved.
Wow. So you gave up being a lawyer?
Being a lawyer, yeah. That was a big deal, by the way, because I come from an Arab family, which, they love the idea of me being a lawyer. But that was just never for me. And I'm also a very creative person. And probably you can see from my socials, very sporadic. I like to do things on a whim. And I felt like as a lawyer, I was a bit more constrained. So, yeah.
It's so interesting because I feel like so many people want to take that jump. And a lot of people have gone down that traditional route. So what was your family's initial reaction? And now that you've got 1 million likes on TikTok, how do they respond now?
Well, the first thing that they saw was I was actually grinding very hard. So when I first came here, they were okay, you know what, she's working a lot. They were a bit worried for me, in fact. But in my mind, I was if I do this now, I will change my life forever. So then when I was working on my agency, my marketing agency, I was okay, once I do this, I'll be able to chill after. Now I'm more chilled. I'm I can be creative online, which is more my personality showing off,
So what was that journey? So, you've only started posting for yourself publicly a lot in the last couple of months, really. So what have you been doing the last 4 years? You started an agency?
Yeah, so personal branding agency. Mm-hmm. So essentially, when I was in the UK, I was working for lawyers on their LinkedIn accounts. And I was building their LinkedIn accounts. And I was I can do this full time. So many people need this because you get a lot of leads through LinkedIn. And people like to make money, So I ended up niching in that. As soon as I niched, my agency popped off. So it was kind of the ideal. I always tell people, niche as soon as you can in whatever you're doing in life, because that's when things will start to develop. People will be attracted to you.
So interesting. And moving to Dubai, I feel I hope this is going to be helpful for people who want to take that leap. So people say it's a difficult city to make friends in. What has that been like for you?
I didn't have that difficulty, but I've always put myself out there. So for example, one of the first things I did when I moved here was literally a TikTok that said, does anyone want to meet on the beach and have a picnic? And so 20 girls came and we all met on the beach and we just had a picnic. And some of them are still my closest friends. And that was in the first 2 months of moving here. So that's how I've always been out there. I couldn't imagine myself in that lawyer office, that shift.
Would you have done that in London?
No.
So why Dubai?
It's a different energy here. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from, where everybody wants to meet new people, create real relationships, create real friendships, especially because it can get really lonely here. A lot of people will find that. But if you put yourself out there, I think you'll have that shift. For example, I started doing those Moroccan parties because I wanted to start meeting more Arab girls who like to dance, but just women only. They have similar values to me because I don't go clubbing. Right. So I started those parties and then eventually it ended up being, once I host the party, one of the ladies that are coming, they can show off their business. And so it kind of creates a community where it's that's your very first business community.
That's amazing. So, are you still friends with those girls? And
yeah, we have two huge groups, and we're gonna hang out soon, inshallah, in Ramadan. So it should be cool.
I feel about the Dubai energy. Of course, I know what you mean. So how would you, I guess, compare, maybe if we jump into influencing or brand building or the creative part of it, how would you compare that life in comparison to London?
I think one of the biggest things is that because everybody's so keen to build their business here, there tends to be a lot of fresh businesses, fresh people, fresh minds. People want to learn how to be a content creator, influencer, freelancer, etc. Sorry, what was your question?
How would
Sorry,
you? I guess no. Well, I've kind of jumped into. So how would you compare building your kind of brand agency, your freelancing in London versus building it in Dubai?
So I do have a few people in London that I work with. But I find that here people are more eager to grow faster. They're very active. They want to throw things at me so that I can work with them, which is a huge shift because in London I find that people are like still groggily getting along. You know, they're kind of like, oh, we'll reply to her email in 10 days, but then we don't get the results, you know? Whereas here they're looking for results ASAP. So it is a huge shift. It's a good and bad thing, obviously. Like, there's perks of both sides. Yeah.
And so you said that you would do your agency and then you'd be able to slow down and be more creative. And obviously, it feels like, judging from your social media, the creativity is coming on in leaps and bounds. So when did you, I guess, start posting about your own life? And what was that? Was it nervous?
I was nerve-wracked. I honestly, at the beginning, what I did was everything that I would put in my private story would suddenly start going, you know, onto my real stories. And then everything that I would put for just my friends only on TikTok, suddenly I'd be like, you know what, maybe I'll just post this to everyone, just see how it goes. And eventually it started to blow up more and more. And I think I've got more of a quirky online personality and I like to show that. And at first I was very nervous to show that, but now I've just got used to it. It doesn't matter to me anymore.
What do you think is like the key to blowing up on TikTok?
Relatability, I think, and also like being yourself, because I see a lot of people doing the same thing all the time, but when you have like something a bit more unique about yourself, people are more drawn in.
So if relatability is like the thing that people should do most of, what are people doing wrong? Like, you know, there's a competitive scene here. And not everyone is making it. So where are people going wrong?
I genuinely believe it's because they're seeing what other people are doing and copying it to the T, where then they could copy it in a way that suits them and they could start having their own niche. Like I said before, your niche is super important. I technically don't have an online personality niche. It's more just the fact that maybe I have a bit more of a quirky personality, for example. But I do think that once people start taking those ideas and like relating it to themselves, it starts to blow a bit more.
You know what's interesting is if you look at Mouna's profile, you've been to some very cool events recently. You've been to Benefit, Cosmo. There'd probably be a long list. If I'm a beauty, if I want to be a beauty influencer in Dubai, how do you get onto those invite lists? Like, what is the secret?
I feel like that's the question I always have. Like, how do you get invited to these events?
Right.
Honestly, firstly, it's networking. Bear in mind, like, I actually post a lot about what I do on LinkedIn. Obviously, I'm a LinkedIn person. So I post a lot about what I do and the events I go to, and that attracts other people. There is a kind of hierarchy that people put you in their mind. When they see you go to one thing, they start to think, oh, maybe we're invited to this thing.
Yeah,
you know, it is a bit of a hierarchy game, unfortunately. But I think that's why you need to be more open to showing off yourself and the things that you've achieved online.
And what are the goodie bags like?
Oh, the goodie bags are great. I got a Sephora one the other day. Shout out Sephora. Amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah. I might have to, I'll let you have a look.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're a LinkedIn person, but you're also a TikTok person. Great. What is your thoughts on like, where do you think people can do the best brand building and make the best career from social media right now?
If we're talking, you have your own business, please go to LinkedIn. Please, please. You know, like LinkedIn is an absolute gold mine because you have to remember that people are not really on Instagram and TikTok looking to build a business network. You know, they're there to be entertained. So you need to think, where do I place myself correctly? And then on the flip, if you want to be a content creator and you want to start creating content that aligns with yourself, obviously shift that to TikTok if you can.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
One video that was on your Instagram account was your wedding. And, well, the wedding was absolutely stunning, but the video that caught my attention was you said the venue cancelled on me 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah. And actually, I ended up having my wedding at the same venue, just somewhere else in the venue. So essentially, what happened was there was this huge concert happening here. It's from a very well-known DJ. I can't say his name, but you probably know him because he highlights Tomorrowland. And he ended up being in the city, the other city in the Emirates, that I was having my wedding in. And so essentially, he had to build his whole stage, and that would interrupt where my wedding is. So they can't take it down. It took them a month to take it down. So my wedding is in that month. So I essentially had to have my wedding in a different part of the hotel where they built these huge villas. So they let me have a wedding in the villa. But bear in mind, this villa was so expensive. So I was quite lucky, actually. I ended up getting the wedding at a discount, technically. So it worked out well for me.
But 3 weeks out?
I was bricking it. I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know what to do.
And how many people did you have coming in?
We had, I think, 60 people from the UK or from across the world coming in. But generally, we actually had quite a small wedding in the end. So I'm happy with that.
This is like I had a civil ceremony recently, and the person doing the bouquet cancelled the night before, and I thought that was major. So I can only
Can you imagine the whole wedding? Yeah. And that shifts everything. It shifts like where the flowers go, the catering, everything changes because you'd have to find a whole new venue. So we were quite lucky that they had those villas.
Looking back on the wedding now, it was so stunning. What was kind of like the top moment for you? I wish we had a video of it so you could see it, by the way, because it was like the hotel and the villa looked like sensational.
It was insane. Like the villa like topped the first venue actually, so I was very happy with that. I think my walking down the aisle, because I'm actually Arab, but my husband is English, so that was like one of his traditions. He was really excited to do it, so that was my favorite moment.
I love when I see weddings here and how they bring cultures together. What part of, I guess, your Moroccan heritage was your favorite part to showcase at the wedding?
Honestly, like we split the wedding in half, where it was like the first part was like a reception, like aisle situation, and the second half was like a huge Moroccan party. So that's where I got my Moroccan party idea from, actually. After I had my wedding, I was like, I can do this for other people and they'd love it. And they do. Like the parties sell out in a few days because people love that kind of thing where it's just like women only, dancing, having fun without any like alcohol there, which is obviously new to the region a little bit, you know.
So how do you, we'll move back to the Moroccan parties, like how do, if people want to go, can they attend? It's like a business networking event, it's a friendship event.
It's kind of like a friendship, business networking event. Like I kind of mix the two things together. If you want to go, it's just in the link in my bio. Like a plug.
No, but like I think it's a really interesting thing, and I feel like you're kind of hustling in a lot of ways, and it's really, really cool. If people watching today want to jump from 0 to 1 million on social media, how do they do it?
Let me get to 1 million first. I'm kidding. I think the biggest thing is also volume. So as soon as you figure out what your personality and niche is, you want to figure out how you can do that specific thing in volume. So for example, if there's something that's really working, how can you double down? How can you do it again? How can you do it in a different way? Can you incorporate other people? So
I love this. Relatability, volume, find your niche. So many gems from Mouna this morning. Mouna, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
If people want to attend the parties, where is that link in bio? How can they find it?
Oh yeah, so it's Mouna on Instagram and TikTok. So YA.Mouna.
And also check out our Instagram and TikTok to see the amazing wedding. Thank you so much for joining us. That is the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning. It's the weekend. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.